Afghanistan, a country often seen through the lens of war, conflict, and instability. For decades, global headlines have focused on battles, political shifts, and changing power structures. Images of destruction, soldiers, and uncertainty have shaped how much of the world understands this place. But beyond those headlines, beyond the noise of global attention, there is another reality, a quieter one, a more complex one, a reality that unfolds far from the cameras, in remote villages, across dry, rugged landscapes, where life moves slowly. This is the story of Afghanistan's drug economy, not as a headline, not as a statistic, but as a reality lived by millions every day. For many outside observers, the idea of a drug economy seems simple: illegal crops, illegal trade, criminal networks. But on the ground, the situation is far more complicated than that, because for many families in Afghanistan, this is about survival. In large parts of rural Afghanistan, opportunities are extremely limited. Years of conflict have damaged infrastructure and reduced access to education. Jobs are scarce, resources are few, and for many communities, farming remains the only reliable source of income. But even farming is not easy. Water is limited. Irrigation systems are often broken or outdated. Weather conditions are unpredictable. And when farmers grow traditional crops like wheat or corn, the financial return is often too low to support a family. Imagine working from sunrise to sunset, only to find the income earned is barely enough to survive. Food becomes uncertain, healthcare becomes unaffordable, education becomes a luxury. For many farmers, this is not just a bad season, this is everyday life, and when survival becomes uncertain, people are forced to make difficult decisions. This is where poppy cultivation enters the picture. Compared to other crops, poppy offers certain advantages. It requires less water, and it can survive in harsher conditions. And most importantly, it provides a much higher financial return. For a farmer struggling to support a family, this is everything. It can mean the ability to buy food, to pay for medical treatment, to keep children in school, even for a short time. This does not mean the choice is easy. Many farmers are fully aware of the risks and the legal consequences. They know the stigma. They are aware that what they produce will travel far beyond their village into a global system they cannot control. But when faced with limited alternatives, survival often becomes the priority. The process begins quietly. Seeds are planted in prepared soil. As time passes, the plants begin to grow. Eventually, delicate flowers bloom, creating a scene that appears calm, almost peaceful. But beneath that peaceful appearance, a different reality is forming. When the poppy pods mature, farmers begin the delicate harvest stage. From these cuts, a milky, sticky substance begins to emerge. This is raw opium. It is collected slowly, carefully. In the early morning, the process requires skill. Too much pressure can damage the plant. For the farmer, this is simply part of the harvest routine. But once the opium leaves the field, the story becomes much larger. The next step usually involves local buyers or middlemen. The transactions are simple. Cash is exchanged. No paperwork. No official record of the deal. From there, the opium moves through a network that extends far beyond the village. It is transported across regions, sometimes hidden. Over time, these routes have evolved. They have adapted to enforcement efforts, changed with political conditions. At certain points, the opium is processed, converted into more refined substances. This part is usually hidden and difficult to monitor. As the product moves further, its value increases. Each stage adds another layer of profit. By international markets, the price is many times higher, and this reveals a core reality. The people at the beginning, the farmers, earn the least, while those further along the chain, with more access, more resources, and more control, earn significantly more. Understanding who controls these levels is not easy. The networks are complex, operate across borders, and remain hidden from public view. This complexity makes the issue difficult to solve. It is many systems connected, overlapping, and constantly changing. Another factor is the connection to Afghanistan's broader environment. This system is shaped by economic conditions and ongoing challenges. In areas where formal systems are weak, informal systems take their place. They provide income and support communities. Over time, they become part of everyday life. This creates a cycle that is incredibly difficult to break. Efforts have been made over the years to reduce poppy cultivation. Some focused on encouraging legal crops, others on enforcement. In certain cases, These efforts showed results, but often, those results were temporary, because the root causes remained unchanged: poverty, limited infrastructure, lack of access to markets. Without addressing these, farmers return to what works. The global impact is significant. What begins in a remote Afghan field can travel across continents, reaching markets far away. This connection highlights a reality. The issue is not isolated. It is part of a global system of production, transportation, and consumption. Addressing it requires cooperation at every level: local communities, national governments, international organizations. But solutions are not just about stopping supply. They are also about reducing demand and building systems that provide real alternatives. For the farmer in Afghanistan, these global discussions can feel distant. The immediate concern is survival, feeding a family. This human dimension is critical. Behind every statistic, there are real people, real lives, real struggles, and real choices made under pressure. As the world searches for solutions, one thing remains clear: there are no easy answers, no quick fixes. The system exists for a reason, shaped by conflict, sustained by necessity, connecting remote villages to global cities. And until that reality changes, the story of Afghanistan's drug economy will continue, not as a headline, but as a daily reality.